Hello dwellers, and welcome to another episode of Looking Back. And before we get started on it, I actually just want to say sorry there was no content last week, as I had a few personal things I had to sort out myself that didn't allow me the time. And also thank you to those who did reach out to me during this time. Your love and support has been fantastic. And well, I'm back now to look at a game that actually just hit its 15th anniversary on the 13th of this month, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Ho ho ho! To subscribe and stay up to date, just hit the little guy just down here in the corner, and I'll see you in the videos. Now, when Wind Waker landed on our shelves back in 2002, it already had created a mixture of reactions throughout the year, basically because it was the first Zelda title to actually use a cel-shaded graphic setup. Whereas some fans rejoiced in having a new direction to the series, there was a large number of people who also reacted badly to the style of change, and basically they even created a basic thread on Reddit that became very popular called the Zelda Bitch thread, which resulted in a lot of feedback in regards to things like someone saying they hoped it was just a cruel joke that was being played and that the actual game coming out was going to be the original style, and also someone quoting, "Just as I was saying Nintendo was getting better, they went and brought out a game that looks like it's for an effing 5-year-old. Now, with the game's release, Nintendo waited to see what the sales would be and the game's final outcome, as they were aware of the mixture of feedback that had come back from beforehand. And when it actually landed, it came out with a 96 out of 100 on Metacritic, and it was the 4th ever game to get an absolutely perfect score in a Japanese games magazine called Famitsu. Now, due to the cel-shaded style of graphics, people thought it would be a childish approach to the game. It actually turned out to be its charm, and the game made record sales for the Zelda series. Obviously, not coming up on where Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask had before, but it made the most out of a polished looking game for its time, and it's even allowed it to look timeless even in this day and age. Now, as always in Zelda games, it was set in a gigantic world full of side quests, hidden locations, and an endless supply of different enemies. The variety of enemies in the game as well was a lot bigger than had been seen in a lot of other Zelda games, and throwing in the newest element they had of the boat as well, you could find all these enemies as you explored a whole variety of islands, and each one served as its own little world. The map itself gave a whole variety of adventures to have, as I've just mentioned, because of all the islands that were available, and the game also boosted a set of combat styles that it was acclaimed for, and both that and the interaction with enemies and the animals of the world also made it a prestigious title within the series. As in previous Zelda titles, it was famed that if you attacked a cuckoo, which if anyone's played a Zelda game and done it, they'll know why, that would lead to them thrashing Link, and in Wind Waker they extended this to all the animals. So if you came across a pig and you want to hit that pig, well, then you better run your backside off, because some of them in the game actually hit harder than the final boss Ganon did, and that's actually a fact. The other side of this was a much more advanced interaction system with the NPCs in the game, and it even included, for the first time ever in a Zelda game, you actually getting punished for breaking pots. As people know, that's been a source point in the Zelda games of smashing pots to get things. I remember myself personally playing it, and the first time actually getting fined 10 rupees for breaking a pot. It was quite a surprise that came along. Well, each of these elements allows you to get fully submerged in this colourful world, and even 15 years later the game is still being played and being discussed. This game led actually to a HD remake back in 2013 for the Wii U, and it allowed the Wii U to have an increase of sales of 685%, which means basically a large number of people who own the Wii U brought it for this game in particular. The console really took off after that, and the game was also capped off with a great storyline, which was another capture point for it, and it turned out to be the game that really broke Zelda into the new generation and became one of the top titles in the series. It left the Zelda universe with a much bigger fan base, and it was loved through by fans of old. So it showed that even with a great title like Zelda, people can judge it by its cover to begin with, but most of the fans have proven wrong. It turned out to be a real gem. Well, thanks for joining me again for looking back. Next week we'll be looking back at The Punisher on PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. Anyway, did any of you play Wind Waker? Let me know what you thought of the game yourself and what your favourite things in with it. And of course, as always, any suggestions for games you'd like to see me look back at, just let me know. Also, we'll be doing at the end of the week on Saturday, we'll be doing a top 10 Christmas themed mods in games. Well, that's all from me this week. If I don't catch you beforehand, may I say to all of you, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and you get what you want, which I imagine a lot of you are probably hoping for a game or two anyway. I know that I've got something like that on my list, and I will see you all out there.
And as always, thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Also, if you want to stay up to date as well, another way is you can catch me on Facebook, the address just there on the screen. And of course, for more videos, you just look to your left there, you can see that'll be one of the latest videos that's landed. And to the right here is a video picked by YouTube just for you. And of course, hit the guy in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on all the latest content.